Welcome back to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies. It's another day, it's another dollar, and it's another low down dirt of love after lock up. My loves, gather around, straighten out your wigs, unloosen the bra, keep up your heels, because we're going to talk about Mumu, Gigi, and Bonita. They are first on the docket. Let's get into it, my loves. Now, here Mumu out here doing these little shenanigans. He's out here lying through his teeth to his two women, okay? Two. And Gigi is trying to act like she's not the one or the two. And we know that is not true. But she sat him down and Gigi told Mumu that she's going to give him one pass. Well, she says it to the camera. I'm going to give him one pass. And if he trips up again, it's an absolute wrap. But loves, we are grown here. We know that is a flat out lie. These birds just be flapping their wings and making a whole bunch of mess and a whole bunch of noise and then turn around and scoop up these dusty men. It's pathetic. They take them right back like a Hoover vacuum cleaner, suck them back up. Now, meanwhile, on the complete opposite side of town, Mama Bonita's throwing a whole entire fit because Mumu completely ghosted her. She's taking it out on that cake. Anyway, okay. So, but before she does all that, she calls his mother up. His mother is just lying for her son. How pathetic. All right. But fortunately, Bonita was sniffing out that nonsense and she smelled a rat. So things get worse. Okay. Because we got over here, Gigi is sitting here playing wifey. She got Mumu in a little kitty cake while she braiding his hair. And they getting all caught up in their feelings. But fast forward, he's out there, she got him all dolled up and pretty with the braids slicked back. He out here at the strip joint, watching the cheeks clap. He's making the cheeks clap, and I'm sure he's making it rain. With what money, I do not know. But it gets a little messier. Because the peace dealer resistance, my loves, is the sheer audacity of this man. Before he absolutely went to that club, he had the absolute nerve to send Bonita a picture of himself looking all dolled up. All right, nice clothes and new braids. And let's look at the receipts. When he originally left Bonita's house, he rolled out super dusty with a whole afro puff. I mean, seriously, and Bonita's not a dummy. So she saw that glow up picture and she went completely scorched earth. All right. She went in that kitchen. She tore up that cake, not in her belly. She just ripped it with her hands and a fit of rage. And right on cue, the frosting is flying. But who comes knocking at the door, my loves? Is it Mumu? Is it Boo Boo the Fool? All right, my loves, we're going to have to stay tuned till next week. Now, up on the docket next is Dia and Cyrus. So now, Dia, the mega bird, brings her fresh out of the can man over to her sister's house for a little welcome home shindig. Now, Cyrus's mama is sitting right there waiting for him. But loves, mama does not know about the whole entire family pack that Dia signed up her son for. Dia says, I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to give you the family pack that consists of me, my brood of kids, and a shack to go over your head. That's the family pack. And Cyrus's mother is not sure that it should be falling in her son's lap. That's a little too soon for a man who's not really clean, just, trying to get his life together. Now, Dia, she wants to play the saints for the camera, telling Cyrus, oh, you could back up. You could back out of all of this. We could just not do this. Because I don't want to introduce you to my kids and then it all goes down to nothing. So if you're not really feeling this, you could just, peace out and it'll be all good. But please, love, you and I both know that was 100% for show. 100%. Because Dia does not care a lick about those kids. She just wants her man. Any kind of con she's been rolling up in that house. And the kids were an afterthought, if that at all. Anyway, so Cyrus, he walks through the door and gets a big old hug from his mama. But look, The party setup is completely backwards. We're talking booze and blunts flowing everywhere. And mind you, this man is a recovering addict. And I'm like, wait a minute. That was after the party they having all this booze and blunts. I know it wasn't his candy of choice, but hey, slippery slope there. Now, to top the messy night off, Dia's sister has done a little time herself in the pokey, and she was doing some slanging some candy too. So that was some heavy time. She did some bad time. She steps up, the sister steps right up to Cyrus and lets him know real quick now, you better be on the up and up or it's a wrap. Now, I cannot, loves. I cannot. I wonder, was Dia's sister, now I'm going off on a tangent. I wonder, was Dia's sister his candy plug? Because his candy ties aren't where Dia lives. But he had a supply of candy, and that's why he got arrested, after he got sent back to the pokey, my loves. If you haven't watched the other video, Cyrus is back in the pokey as the time. He's never seen his time getting off out of the pokey. He's always been in jail. He got rearrested, basically, is what I'm saying. And I wondered, maybe he got Dio's sister was the plug. I'm like, how did he get hooked up so quick when he didn't live close by his original plug? Just saying. And plug means hook up to, the dealer. Anyway, my loves, moving on. Next on the docket, we got Kirsten and Brady. Love, this is just a quick little bite for you because they barely gave these two any screen time on this episode. But Brady has been out of the pokey for 1 month, and he has a 48-hour pass. So, man, Kirsten immediately packs up the kids and they hit the road, and along with Brady to a hotel. And Brady's kids are supposed to go meet them up there as well. The kids like Brady, blah, blah, blah. And, Brady has 2 kids by another woman. They're waiting for them to show up. In the meantime, they're enjoying the hotel, everything. And they only have 1 room, 2 queen beds. And according to Kirsten, they couldn't really do anything in the hotel, but because the kids were sleeping in the bed next to them. And I'm like, please, we know good and well they got a little freaky the exact second those babies went to sleep. I'm just saying. Sugar and spice and no privacy. Yeah, I don't think they were, they were doing something freaky under the sheets. And maybe not making a lot of noise, but they were doing something freaky. She said they might did something in the bathroom. Yeah, they did that too. But anyway, the family reunion for Brady gets axed, chopped, because one of his daughters gets sick and they can't make it to the hotel. So that was it for their little storyline for that episode. Next on the docket, we have Rich and Felicia. Now, loves, Felicia clearly enjoyed the prison commentary a little too much there in the pokey because she came out a little pokey herself, looking big and chunky. And she expects Rich to pay the tab for her new clothes so she don't look all crazy. Goes on this whole entire rant about how a real Sicilian man is supposed to bring home the bacon, fried up in the pan, and dole out the cash. But wait, child, the joke is on her because Rich isn't even Sicilian. Nah. He's a Rolling Stone, but he's not Sicilian. And can we talk about the wardrobe at that store? She drags him to this whack, ugly, overpriced boutique to buy mid-basic looking clothes. I mean, they could just roll down to the Walmart clearance rack and done just as good for a fraction of the price. I'm just saying. Now, in the meantime, Felicia's completely broke. She calls up her prison manager, demanding her to send her a band. That means $1,000 for you guys not hip to the slang. Because she said things are expensive. And loves, Rich catches wind on this phone conversation. And he's wondering, you still trying to squeeze money out of men? Oh, I thought that was a pokey hustle, and you done with it. And he feels as if in his spirit that this whole relationship was nothing but a prison hustle between he and Felicia. But he just lets it slide because in the next scene with them, they're at crawfish eating time. And you know, the messy discussion about Rich's divorce comes up. Now, Felicia's aunt, bless her nosy heart, says she's just going to ask him flat out if he's officially divorced. She asked the question. Rich just sits there and smiles and says he is. And then, baby, he took off his mic and completely bounced off the scene. He made a disappearing act. Loves, I cannot. Why get on the show when you are messy? You got something you trying to hide. Don't be on front of the, America. Mm-mm. People gonna be all up in your business. Next on the docket is Kayleigh and Michael. Now, my loves, Kayleigh is out here shaking in her boots because Michael has asked to look at those bank statements. Now, hold on. This girl spent 6 years waiting on this man to get out the pokey. 6 years writing letters, putting money on his books, sending him expensive clothes, and wasting her time when she got little ones. And when he finally rolls out, she doesn't get a kiss, not a peck, not a snuggle, absolutely nothing. And the joke of it all is she went completely out of her way to bring this man a whole knee brace. But let's be real, if you completely blew up this credit score, you blew it up while he was locked away, you cannot expect a basic CVS $14 knee brace to just wipe away his memory of what you did. That medical foam and Velcro isn't going to heal his TransUnion report, darling, because I hear it's like in the 400s. But let's be clear. He had one of those credit cards where you had to put money on. And she kind of used the money she put on his credit card and then some. And it was some kind of credit card that you had to put money on first. It wasn't like a traditional credit card. So it was all her money anyway. So he's complaining and whatever. But Michael's perspective is a total mess. He's talking about how he had expectations and she promised she would fulfill them. He walks out of prison complaining that all she brought to the table was debt and no car. Michael is just big mad because she spent money on herself, not all on him. And he expected it all to be on him and all the cash that she gave to him to be his. He completely forgot that Kayleigh has actual children to feed and clothe. And the selfishness of these convicts is real. And on top of that, yeah, she wanted some money on herself. Yes, she doesn't know how to manage money well, because I wouldn't be spending on any money on a convict, especially when I have kids. But she did that and some. So he just mad because she was messy with it. If it were all to him, all his debts were paid, all that, he wouldn't have a problem if she was broke. Well, maybe he would, because he would expect her to keep paying. But anyway, let's talk about the job situation. Michael goes on an interview and actually lands a gig at his mama's boyfriend's company. Okay, clap for him, I guess. All right. I don't know why his mother insists on those pigtails. It's just driving me nuts. But wait, there's a major catch. He gets this gig, but he's going to need a driver's license. So they roll over to the DMV. Now he's fully expecting Kayleigh, a single mom, to have paid off his fines. All right, now I know the internet loves him. They think he's hot and everything. They're giving him a big old pass. But this man was completely using this woman, and you know what? He got. But anyway, he goes to the counter to find out she didn't pay a single dime. He's absolutely furious. He's big mad. His mama is right there backing him up. She just mad, and she got her blood pressure up because the single mama didn't pay his $6,000 in debt that he owed to the DMV. My loves, Michael and his mama could completely lose me. Just saying, that was absolute nonsense. Expecting a struggling single mother out here paying your illegal fines when you had your own cash, not your own cash, the cash that she gave you that you just stashed away, to your mother. I mean, seriously, you gave that money to your mother to stash because he asked for money from Kayleigh, and that mother was only being siphoned down to his mother to hold for him. But he didn't want any of that money paid. That was going to be his money and his money only. He's not even mentioning the money ever to Kayleigh. So anyway, I'm just saying that's completely foul. And I'm just glad that she got something out of it. She wasn't a complete fool. Thank you for not being a complete fool, Kayleigh. And yeah, she may be wrong for blowing his credit, but he needs to take his knee brace and hit the bricks. All I say, take the knee break and hit the bricks. Mm. Now, my loves, that concludes this episode of Low Down Dirt. And I want to know what you guys think. I know it's a big controversy. A lot of people are falling for Michael, and I think that's because he's handsome. They do not see, they are eating up everything this man is saying. That's what they're doing. They're eating up everything he's saying. He said he made all that money in the pokey, and there's not that many honey buns you could sell in the pokey to get $14,000. Then, if you were to believe that, how did he get the seed money to buy the honey buns to sell? He could only have gotten that from Kayleigh because his mother wasn't going to send him a dime. So still, Kayleigh's money. Then in this last episode, he mentioned he had the money before he entered the prison. And I'm still feeling like, okay, you're lying. Either you made it in the pokey or you had it before. I believe none of it. I believe it's all Kayleigh's money and he just handed it off to his mother to keep. It's for him, it's safekeeping until he gets out. And he thought he was going to have 14 bands, but apparently, yeah, he did. But he's going to have to spend some of that to pay for his own debt. My loves, I need for you to drop a line below. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Hit that notification bell and hype and like if you dare, my loves. And I'm going to check you all out on the flip side.